Hello everybody, welcome back to Case Management Practice 2, and this is Assessment 2 Part B, where we're going to look at the case studies for our clients. So as always, we're going to start by going to the Templates for Assessments folder here. Under the Templates for Assessment folder, you'll find the assessment template here, and you need to fill this in. We're just making case plans. So for the case plans, we're going to go to the student area. As always, put your number in, your student number, your name, and alter the student name for the course, for the document title, so that you save it under your name. That's easy to understand. Follow through Part 2B, case plan. And we're to complete case plan for each of our clients. One for Lily, one for Jasmine, one for Tyson, a total of 3 case plans. So we're going to complete these parts. Client's name, Lily Chen. Case number, don't worry. Client address, don't worry. Support person, don't worry. Doctor's name, today's date. If you put in the client's name, that's okay. This is a case plan that would be agreed with people who are involved in it. So the client is involved with it. So you have to tick the client. If you want to know how to tick, how to add a tick, if you go to the insert symbol button here, you can get a drop-down list and add a tick in there. There's a little tick, and you can save those ticks. So you as the case manager, you'd want to be there too. So we can. So again, that's insert and the symbol over here, and you can insert a tick here. So for Lily, that's who's going to be involved in arranging with that person the case plan. You're the client case manager, and Lily's the client too. So summary of the initial assessment. So what's the summary? So Lily's got a number of problems. She's got, and you can cut and paste that from assessment 1. If you don't put in too much, you only need a couple of dot points there, really. Look, alcohol and drug issues, parenting issues, victim of domestic violence, mental health needs, assessment needs, unemployment, ESL, English language difficulties, etc. So we might actually want to put in that you have an interpreter here for Lily as well. So if you put it, and then you can put other, and then write interpreter in here, interpreter for Lily. Okay, so as we go down through the list, identified strengths. Well, Lily's coping. She's not seriously in trouble. Lily's had problems in the past, and she's been resilient, and she's working with an alcohol and drug worker. So that's become obvious, and so yeah, it's not all downhill here. So what are the key risks and the priority of needs? Well, key risk is that Lily is a victim of domestic violence, and she's in danger of losing custody of her children if she doesn't address those. So she needs to address her parenting situation. She needs to make sure that she's resourced. So what's her income like? Does she need assistance with material aid, etc., to look after the kids? How does she get linked in with that? So she might need that. She might need emotional support, counseling, etc., to deal with her parenting needs, etc. So has she got other requirements? Cultural? Yes, she needs an interpreter. Goals for the priority for the area. So parenting, alcohol and drug use, mental health assessment, and maybe income as well. So we've got Lily here. We want to write this down. So these goals here that we list, these become the goals that are here. And the actions and strategies are put in here. So first thing we need to do is write, is this immediate? Immediate is now, today, tomorrow. What are the goals? The goals are, so let's call it parenting. Immediate parenting needs, actually probably not. Let's call it, for this one, material aid. Let's say she's got no food in the fridge, and she needs to feed the kids. So link to food bank. Okay, so there you go. Food bank. Sorry, I spelled that. Referral. Food bank. Food bank organisation. And telephone. Put the contact details in. Yeah, 02. There you go. Monitoring strategies, not applicable. Review date, not applicable because we're going to do it now. Now the next thing we need to think about, though, is something more short-term, right? So you always order your case plan in terms of immediate, short-term, medium-term, and long-term. So we need to do a full assessment as well for Lily. So we're not just going to go 4 things. We're going to do everything that you need to do. So she in her short-term needs, she needs to address address AOD issues, right? So she's got to stop any AOD situations because this is a trigger, parties, etc. We want to make sure that that's fixed as soon as possible. Action strategies linked to AOD service. Linked to AOD service. There might be more than one. Attend counselling. Stop parties. So where we've got different ones here, I suggest you add a little, let me just move that out. Add some dot points in there so that that's more clear, okay? Referral to AOD service, and then again, contact numbers. And these are services in your region. You can find these out and put these in your region. Counselling, okay. Now, counselling maybe, maybe not, but it doesn't matter if it's down there, and it doesn't matter if it's not 100% accurate. If it's not there, then it would be more of a problem. Monitoring strategies weekly catch up with, and we're going to, with Lily, right? We're going to talk about this. Just write sentences in there, little dot points. Counselling services, that's applicable for both. Review date next week. So we're going to put, you know, next week from today. Okay, from today's date. Let's put today's date there. Okay, so there we go. We've got some information that we can use here. Medium term. So immediate is now. Short term is the first week to the first 2 weeks. Short term, there might be multiple short terms. You want to link her in with a mental health assessment, for example. You want to make sure immediately, one of her immediate needs might be she requires an interpreter. And one of the things we can do here is we can add to this table here by insert rows above. So we can go immediate. We need interpreter services. And action strategies, call VITS. That's Victorian interpreter telephone service. But, you know, if you're not in Victoria, it might be another one. Referral, VITS, and then put the phone number down for VITS. Monitoring, not applicable. Review date, not applicable because it's going to be required. Obviously, we haven't spelled interpreted correctly there. There's an E there. Okay, so we're able to fill out this, and this is based on these goals for priority. You might have goals, might need more than one strategy, remember? Medium term is more like 2 weeks to 3 months. Long term would be, you know, 6 months to 1 year, 2 years. And, you know, long term might mean things like education, learning English, applying for a job, and linking her. So if you want to go employment, long-term goal is employment. And first thing we're going to need to do is address education, address ESL skills, English as a second language, ESL, addressing referral to neighborhood house for English, free English lessons. You probably find it neighborhood house, or call your local government agency if you don't know, and you say, do you know of any free English lessons for people with limited backgrounds? And there's also opportunities called Centrelink as well. You might think about educational training from Centrelink. If that's a barrier to Lily getting a job, then Centrelink might be able to start linking her with some basic English skills to get her job ready. Monitoring strategies are monthly because it's a long thing. It's a long term. So monthly and review. We're going to review in 2 months, because one of the other problems we don't want to do is give Lily fatigue from having too many services. So what are the medium term? Stabilize her situation at home. Address problems with the boyfriend, personal relationships, help her children in terms of education. Make sure that she's got the fact that the house is fully resourced in order to look after the kids, etc. So now we're going to move on to the next person, who will be Tyson or Jasmine. And so this is Jasmine here. So Jasmine, we're going to fill Jasmine in here. And whilst you don't need to fill all of these boxes in, by the way, whatever the support needs are, you've got to write them in. If you don't write them in, you might be assessed as inadequate. So if you have a look at the idea of the marking categories, you might realize that you need to get make sure there's appropriate case management goals are identified. So if you don't have appropriate ones, so if you've missed very important areas, then you might be assessed as having to redo this assessment. So my advice is you don't skimp here. Now, Jasmine and Tyson are going to be very similar, right? So we've got Jasmine, and Jasmine's going to be here with the client. We're going to insert the tick here, and you as the case manager here. You work on the case plan together. Summary of initial assessment. Jasmine's got problems, and Tyson as well. Education, social life, victim of domestic violence and child abuse, and she's capable. She's looking after her. She's being the term is parentized. She's being asked to actually look after Tyson in a parental kind of role, because she's 10 and he's 8, and Lily's not doing the job properly. So she's knocking on doors going, "Have you got any food for us?" That's called parentizing, and that's not correct for children to be taking on roles of parents. It does happen, and sometimes it's supported. If it's very well supported, it's allowed to occur, but it shouldn't occur. The risks are that she will suffer from poor education and emotional outcomes. She's got long-term risk of being a victim of child abuse for all her life. So that's a serious risk. So additional support required. Well, she's going to need, what's she going to need? She might need some support, tutoring in education, depending on how well she's doing there. She's going to need some counselling and emotional support. She's going to need support through the education liaison worker, who's going to be able to say to her, "Look, can we provide you with a support worker in class if you're not achieving, if her grades are falling behind?" She's going to need a bit of leeway on things. She might need some material aid. She might need school uniforms, for example. She might need access to some funding that might be available through school or not. All these things are worth finding out. She might be eligible for some funding through somewhere in order to get material aid if she's considered disadvantaged and there's a particular service that provides funding for children. And again, it's worth going through your local government youth services. She might want access to social outlets like community centres and youth clubs and things like that. And she might want some friends. Has she got any friends? We're not hearing about any friends. That's a bit strange, don't you think? Yeah, she's been exposed to quite a lot at a young age, and she might need an advocate. You know, if she doesn't want to be at home with her mum or her dad, she might need an advocate. You never know about that. An advocate to say, Jasmine, what do you need here? Do you want to be living in out-of-home care, for example? Okay, so I think we've pretty much covered that. Now, Tyson, pretty much similar. Tyson's going to need one thing different, which is his risks are falling out of school. And he's only 8, so that's serious. So I'd be concerned that Tyson has a mental health problem. Maybe. Maybe not, but I wouldn't mind getting a child psychologist to give him an assessment. So I'd be putting that down. Assessment for Lily as well, for Jasmine as well. So mental health needs need to be examined. And all the other same things: friends, social outlets, education, tutoring, material aids, that sort of thing. So there, that. Okay, I think that's enough for this one. We've pretty much covered that. Fill that in. Oh, what's that dangling sentence on the end there? Fill this in and send it off as you need to post it in for week 9. Okay, thanks very much for your time. Take care. Bye.